When I worked at one of the banks I worked at, it was a smaller regional bank. So there was a little more that got handled in the branch than in your larger banks. And once I got, good into the role, my branch manager's like, hey, I just need you to handle the loan renewals. In other words, it was work she didn't want to do. Because business loan accounts will come like due. They'll need to be renewed every 5 years or so, because they would do what's called balloon loans. And if you don't know what that is, the basic thing is a balloon loan is you get a loan for $50,000 and you pay a token amount, $300-$400 a month, but there's a balloon payment, a large amount of money due at the end of the loan cycle. That way, if you need working capital, the business can get it, and then you pay down the loan slowly but surely, and then you renew it every few years or so. Makes sense for the business, because for a small business that only collects $50,000 a year, it's hard for them to pay that back, so you gotta renew it every so often. Well, my manager, kind soul that she was, put me in charge of it, and you need Herculean amount of documents. For a loan renewal alone, if the business has 2 owners, they need 2-3 years worth of W-2s for the person, for each person, and then 2 years worth of tax history for the owner, or for the business itself, I should say. And then just all kinds of stuff, financial statements, everything you can think of, and some stuff you wouldn't think of. And I had to get the business to get them. And they were not quick about it. They were always slow. They're like, yeah, I'll get that to you. A week would roll by. Hey, can you email me that document, please? Oh, yeah, sure. I'll get right on that. My wife will drop it off. And then they take too much time, and then you get towards the deadline, and the underwriters, in my experience, they're not your friends. They've got a job to do, and they've got 100 loans to look at. So you're supposed to be the go-between. They got better things to do than to indulge clients, because you can waive certain documents and stuff like that. This one particular client, I start asking for stuff, and I get immediate blowback. Well, why do you need that? The underwriter's requesting it. We need it for the loan. Well, I've never had to give that. I've banked with this bank for 20 years. I don't understand why I have to give that. Well, ma'am, we need it for the loan. If you could just get it over to me, or you could drop it off, and email's fine. Well, we'd have to find it in our accountant. And our accountant moved to Timbuktu, and he's in an area that phones don't exist yet. And he doesn't have internet, so we can't get to him. This is just really inconvenient. You dare to ask for documentation. Can't you waive this? And I asked, I was like, I'll see if I can. I was like, no, ma'am, we really need to get that for this loan. And she's like, oh, no, y'all shouldn't have to do this. I'm not. She just refused. I got back with the underwriter, and the underwriter was just like, all right, I got something for her ass. And the underwriter gets back with us, and the company sends an email to her. Hey, you don't want to renew your loan? That's fine. Your entire balloon payment and balance is due here within the next month. If you could get that over to us, that'd be great. And of course, she immediately backtracks. It's like, oh shit. And blames me for not specifically telling her that if she did whatever the hell she wanted, there would be consequences. Consequences like having to pay $80,000. So you didn't tell me that. It's funny how customers work, that they won't hear of it until, and they can't walk across the street to get you something you need, but when they have a problem, they're at your door begging for help. And in this case, she got mad and was complaining. My manager was like, and the thing was, my manager was like, he was with me every step of the way. He let me know everything that was going on, and she even called him herself, and they still refused. So funny, once that happened, she quickly got me the paperwork she needed. That accountant that was living in a country without phones magically found a phone and magically found internet. Funny how that works and how that happens that way sometimes.